Oh, hey YouTube. Well, this is the story of one of the best flights of the year. And we launched from Centennial Park in Topol with a couple of other gliders, Pat Dreesen in India Oscar, an AS-33, and Dave Johnson in his Discus 2. So we towed up onto the hill, Tahara, next to the airfield, and just waited for the others to get in the air. Then we had to set off into the blue. Oh, hey YouTube. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but we're trying to get into that stuff over there. It's going to be an awesome convergence setup today, but we've got to get there. And there's 30 bloody knots of wind out to my right here. I've moved over a bit north and now there's only 18 knots of wind. 17, I'm coming up, flying over into the paddocks here. I might need to start my engine to get up over into the hills over here, but that's fine. That's kind of part of the plan, is to, we just want to get over here into it. Getting closer. I did one engine start and engined into a nice thermal, turned off the motor up to 5,000 feet, which is I'm only 2,000 feet above the ground here. Now, after a 500 feet glide, coming over this little pine forest here, it's often has good timbers around here. This one. Earlier than expected, but I'll take it. Not gonna turn down anything. Well, we got up into the convergence. Bit of a struggle, but we got there. Woohoo! Got a clearance into controlled airspace up to 9,500 feet. Cloud base is about 12, I think. 11. I just want to climb up here so I can cut across this gap. Only got to about 7. Really wanted a bit more, but ploughed ahead anyway. Holy cow, the weather is magnificent. Right, now we're going up. Solid 10 knotter. I've had great climbs so far. I've always been a bit too low for the convergence, but this is working good. Made an effort to find it. Over Lake Waikaremoana, and must be another separate lake here as well. Luckily, not many planes around this area. We're not being interrupted by other aircraft flying around at all. And we headed off to the clouds in the distance here. We knew it'd be working, but slightly concerned about that big build-up, which did turn into a bit of rain. And even on the way back, a little bit of hail, which caught us out. We came underneath it, and it was alright on the way up. Not too heavy, we could see the rain, so just avoided that. So here we are entering underneath that cloud and time-lapse, and you can see I'm just aiming for the darker bits of the cloud. We dropped down, we're 7,500 feet now instead of the 10,000 we were before. So, but I could see the high clouds out to our right here, so thought we'd get back up into higher stuff there. And it was up here I met up with Patrick, and we decided to turn around and head back before it got too bad. So this was a nice little spot to climb. Did some figure of eights. Just couldn't quite get a good climb there. So it's definitely time to head home, or head south again. And just see a bit of rain there on the right. So, and it was about here that we hit the hail unexpectedly, and I got caught by it. There it is. I turned left quickly to try and get out of it, and then I was desperate. I was mucking around here trying to talk to air traffic control again to get clearance back into airspace, and then I lost 1,000 feet, got down to 5, but managed to find a climb back in the convergence, and just tried to trek along here, staying in it as best we could. Still only 7. I was looking forward to getting back to the higher cloud bases and do a decent climb so we could get back up again. All this time we're flying with PureTrack in India Oscar. What a beautiful machine. And you can see all the beautiful landing options underneath us around this area. So definitely good to be high, that's for sure. Heading south past the lakes, we managed to get decent climbs and back up to 9,500 feet, which let us do this big gap. It was actually working alright across here, we didn't lose too much height, and as soon as we got to the clouds, up we went again. And you can see the step here. It started spreading out, the convergence, so we needed to figure out where to be. And generally the right hand side was had the higher cloud base, so we stuck to that side. Here we are coming under the step. You can see the moisture air on our left. And you can see the air being sucked up on the right here, so it's quite important to stay out on the right hand side. Oh, this was so much fun along here. Look at us go! At around this point we turned right slightly and headed towards the mountains, Mount Ruapehu and Tongariro. Had to kind of find the climbs in here, it wasn't quite as easy, things had spread out a bit. We just followed this convergence line as far as we could go. We ran into the military airspace, so we had to turn around just very shortly. There's the mountains on our right. Turned around, heading back to Centennial Park. This was a pretty easy run. Stopped at the end here just to top up before a big push and final glide back to the airfield. And here's our finished flight. 495 kilometres for me and 500 and something for PureTrack. And here's the development of the cloud throughout the day. As you can see, we flew along the best of it. I think the lessons from this flight is a little bit of planning goes a long way. For example, we let air traffic control know where we're coming. Don't be scared to use your engine to get to the good stuff. Alright, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.